Hello everyone, Dr. Vaughn. I'm going to make a quick video here. Hopefully it will help with Chapter 7 in particular. We could also go back and look at Chapter 6 based on time, but you can see that I'm in the quiz. This is 56 minutes remaining. In Chapter 7, we're looking at the normal distribution. I know that it's a normal distribution because it says normally distributed, and they're talking about the mean, the average lifetime of a light bulb. It's a continuous variable. And so they want to know what the probability is, the proportion that are going to be above, below, or between different values. And so these are straightforward applications of the normal distribution given the mean and the standard deviation. So I'm going to show you how to do this in Excel, and I'm also going to make a point about Statcrunch. So in the first question here, we have a mean of 56, a standard deviation of 3, and then what proportion of light bulbs will last more than 60 hours. Now, if I were you, I would take something like Excel or Statcrunch. I'm going to do Excel first, and I'd make myself a little, tool here where we enter the mean and then the standard deviation. And so in this particular problem, the mean is going to be 56. So for different problems, I can type different numbers here. And then the standard deviation is going to be 3.3. All right, and now I'm going to use the built-in functions in Excel to find the probability of it being more or less or between. Okay, so I'm going to have a more than place where I can enter it, a less than, or a between. In which case, I'm going to have a between lower value and a between upper value. All right, so you can call these whatever you want, and in fact, you can get away with doing this all in one cell or two cells if you want. There's different ways about this, but I just want to show you this last more than 60 hours. So I'm going to put 60 over here, and then what I'm going to do is find the probabilities by using this normal distribution. Now, the basic function is norm.dist, the normal distribution. And then you put in there the value, the mean, the standard deviation, and cumulative true or false. So the value is going to be this 60. The mean is going to be the 56. The standard deviation is going to be 3.3. And the cumulative is saying all of the values up to and including that value, not just at the number itself, which is generally for these problems going to be true. All right, now the problem is that actually in Excel, this will always find the left side, the lower side, which is the less than side. So because I want more than, I'm going to have to put in 1 minus to do the complement. All right, so 1 minus norm.dist, you can blow up your screen and slow the video down if you want to copy this into your own sheet. And that's going to give me this probability of 0.1127. And they want this to 4 decimal places, so 0.1127. Now I'm going to try the 51 hours or less. So less than 51. This time the function is going to equal, I don't need to do the 1 minus. I'm just going to do that same norm.dist. Okay, the x value, the mean, and the standard deviation. And then say cumulative true. Now this is going to do everything less than, up to, and including 51, which is what I want. Right, so 0.064, and if I round that last digit, it's a 9, 0.0649. Now we're going to try the between. All right, so I want between 59 and 61. So what I'm going to do is do the same thing that I did here with the less than. All right, in fact, I can just copy it and edit it if you want. Paste, and paste. So the only thing I'm going to do here is instead of B5, I'm going to do B6. So below the lower value, that's the part that I don't want, and then below the higher value. And so this goes from 59 to 61. Let me check this one really quick. Oh, I put in 6 here, not B6. All right, that didn't look right. Okay, so now I have the less than or equal to the upper value, less than or equal to the lower value. So what I want for the between is just the difference between these. .1168. So one of the things that you might also want to do is make these like, some color. So this is my answer. All the rest is just kind of work that I'm doing to lead up to the answer. Okay, so greater than, less than, or between. And then all I have to do is type these values over here. And you might color these some other color. Like these are numbers that I need to enter. And, I only need to enter one of these, either this one, or both of these two. I usually won't enter all four of them on any one part of one problem. These are also numbers that I need to enter. All right, so I'm just going to give myself some kind of a reminder of what I'm entering versus what's calculating versus what's the answer. All right, so let's go through and do this last one. Okay, less than 45. Okay, I'm back to the less than. All I need to do is change this to 45, and then here's going to be my answer, 0.0004. And you can see it does this for me. It won't do this on your quiz, but I get to know question by question when I'm in preview mode whether I got it right. And you can see that I got this completely right. So the nice thing is now I have this sheet ready to go. And when I go to my next problem, this one's just a multiple choice question. Let's see if I can find something that's similar. Okay, this one's similar. Suppose a brewery has a filling machine that fills 12-ounce bottles of beer. Okay, that's the size of the bottle doesn't matter. It's known that the amount of beer follows a normal distribution. Okay, so the mean is 12.5. So let's put 12.5 here in for the mean. And the standard deviation of 0.04, 0.04. And I want to know the probability that it's between 12.4 and 12.46. So I'm going to put between lower 12.4 and higher 12.46. And then here's my answer, 0.1524, 0.1524, which looks like it's choice D here. All right. So using something like this in Excel will really simplify this so you don't have to recalculate it over and over and over and over again. Now, what I want to do is talk about Statcrunch, because when you're working on the quiz, one of the things you notice is I don't have that little link to open up Statcrunch to do something like this over in Statcrunch. So one of the things you can do is just kind of have Statcrunch open in a different window. Maybe you were working on a homework and you bookmarked it. I've logged in using my Pearson login credentials, and I have a version of Statcrunch open. And so, if I wanted to do one of these problems, and let's just look at the same problem using Statcrunch instead of Excel, then I go to this window and I'm going to try to look for that normal distribution. So I'm just going to scroll through the menus here and look for the normal distribution. Okay, the Z-stats, summary stats, tables, calculators. Okay, calculators, normal. Okay, here's a normal calculator. All right, so now I can choose between standard or between. And on this particular problem, I want between. So I'm going to make sure that I clicked over to between. Okay, so it has the two values. I'm going to type in the mean here, 12.5. I'm going to enter the standard deviation, 0.04. And then I want to compute the probability that it's between 12.4 and 12.46. And then I'll say compute, and it'll compute the probability for me. It draws a picture, and there's that same 0.15244, 0.1524, which, up to rounding, is going to give us the correct multiple choice response over here. So Statcrunch is kind of easier to use. because it's all set up. You don't have to enter any of those formulas, but you have to make sure that you have this window pulled up and you know where to find that normal calculator and how to type the numbers in. And then if you only have the standard, you could do the below, and I think that it may have an option for it being above. You can change here to it being above instead of below. So then that saves you from doing the 1 minus business that you need to over in Excel. All right. By the way, there's binomial distribution tools that are built into Excel and Statcrunch that will help you as well. The command over here, instead of norm.dist, is binom.dist. And then over here, you just go to that calculator and then you pull up the binomial distribution instead of the normal distribution. That's for chapter 6. All right. Well, I hope this is helpful, and I'll talk to you again soon.